Hello, my name is Colin Leahy, and today I'll be talking about the Sales 321 class, specifically some of the things about fundraising, some of the things that I learned throughout this class, and the different ideas and methods that we learned through this class. Now, the main project for this class entailed fundraising for the Trailblazer Outreach Program, which was a program where we basically had to fundraise for special needs Boy Scouts who would not be able to afford or go to these camps without this special fundraising. Now, this camp was like a once in a lifetime opportunity for these people, so it was definitely big and definitely cool to fundraise for them. Now, the amount that we were supposed to fundraise was $350 through the course of the semester. Now, I ended up with $750 through 13 unique donors, and that is through utilizing many of the skills and ideas that I learned throughout this semester. Now, what are some things that I might have learned or some lessons I learned? Well, honestly, a big thing that I wanted to bring up was the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Now, at first, when I first saw this book, I've always kind of seen like jokes about it and how it wasn't really that serious and this and that. And if you take this book seriously and actually understand and try to implement many of the things in your life, it automatically helps with all facets of life, in my opinion. As long as you are completely genuine behind what you are trying to do with this book and through this book, you will overall do much better in sales and other things in life through the many different lessons it teaches, through how it teaches you how to talk to people, through just how it's not how what you say, it's just more of how you say it, and it kind of teaches you that in a very instructive and well put together and thought out way. Now, one thing I definitely hadn't had a ton of experience in doing when starting this semester was cold calling. I really had not experienced cold calling. I had not seen what it's like. I had not done it. And I think what was really important and really big for it was it taught failure very well. A lot of people do not like getting cold called. When you are cold calling in the real world, people are going to call you names. People are going to be rude to you. They're not going to be nice. They're just never going to be. So I think that's really big to understand quickly, is that you have to know in that kind of space, you have to tread lightly and kind of work with what you can and continue to roll with the punches and not get discouraged as soon as something like that were to occur, like failure. Now, I think also another big thing that I learned was how important understanding the actual customer is. Now, a customer is much more likely to buy from you if they trust you beforehand, if they understand who you are, know who you are, and know that you are a trustworthy person. They are 10 times more likely to buy from you. I think it's also important to have correlations, figuring out different things, like, for instance, during the Scout project, finding different people that were scouts. Now, a huge thing to get a ton of donation for me was utilizing things such as people that I had previously known that were scouts. A great example of this would have been a family friend's uncle who I hadn't fully known, but I knew he was a scout. And the background knowledge of him knowing that I was a close friend of his nephew had given me the insight and the ability to actually reach out and get a good donation from him. Now, finally, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite experiences during this class, which was going to the Megacore place down in here in Morgantown and actually doing a cold call in front of one of the workers there. Now, I thought this was very cool because these people are actually actively doing this on a day-to-day basis, actively communicating with customers and trying to gain new customers. So to have somebody like that give me creative feedback right in front of me, right after I did it, was a very unique and cool experience to have. Overall, this project and this class has taught me a ton about sales and how selling really works with people, and how you need to be able to connect with people and understand people in order to sell to people.